So first off, yes, today's class is, we're going to talk a little bit about arthritis, and we're going to go through a chair yoga version of the joint freeing series. Now, we've done this in classes before if you've worked with me before, and it's just kind of one of those oldie but a goodie. You know, we can never do this practice enough, especially if you have inflammation in your joints and we want to keep the joints nice and healthy and lubricated. And so, just going into the joints a little bit on a very high level. Um, so, we have what is called synovial fluid that runs in between every single one of our joints. So every time that you can actually find movement in a joint, it's moving because of that synovial fluid. And our synovial fluid, so this is without arthritis, but our synovial fluid actually hardens overnight or without a lot of use. So there's where that saying comes, if you don't use it, you lose it. That could be where this originated from, right? So the synovial fluid gets hard, okay? It stiffens up. It's why we feel a little bit stiffer in the mornings, okay? As opposed to at the end of the day after we've had a full day of movement, right? And in order to keep and to break up that hardened synovial fluid, we just have to move it. We just have to move it and open it up, and then it's going to move a little bit more fluid or with more fluidity. Okay, and then to talk a little bit more about arthritis. So one of the reasons why yoga is so great for arthritis in particular is because when we do have arthritis, and there's different types of arthritis, we have OA and RA, so rheumatoid arthritis and then osteoarthritis. More common is the osteo, which happens with age, with overuse, and the RA is an autoimmune disorder, and that's something that's completely different. But we're going to address both of those today. So we don't want to put a lot of strain on our joints when we have arthritis. So yoga is really great for that, right? Especially in a chair. We're not putting weight bearing onto our joints when we're sitting in a chair, right? Especially on our wrists and our knees, because we do find there's a lot more common arthritis as we age in the hands, the knees, and the feet. So yoga is helping to reduce that joint pain, and also really important is the inflammation, right? And we could talk a little bit more about inflammation, but we are here to also to build up the strength surrounding the joints. Okay, so let's say you have arthritis in your knee. To better support that arthritis, we want to work on strengthening the thighs and the calf muscles, okay? More particularly the quad and the hamstring, the front and the back. So we're not just looking at flexibility. Yoga is great for flexibility, but we are not just looking at that, especially when it comes to arthritis. Something that's also really important for our arthritis is breath work. And why breath work? Because it's going to actually help to relax your nervous system. The nervous system is directly related to pain, okay? When we feel pain in our body, let's say we are walking around a corner and we hit our shoulder against a wall. The reason why we can feel that is because our nerves have sent a signal to the brain, okay? So it's all about the nerves, it's all about the nervous system. When we do breath work to relax the nervous system, okay, we are actually helping to, I don't want to say tolerate pain, but to have a better understanding of pain in the body, where it's coming from, okay, and how to accept it and work through it. And Also, I wanted to just note that when you are doing a yoga class, and this goes a little bit more for yoga, gentle yoga on the floor, we want to be careful if you have arthritis to not put a lot of weight on your knees and on your wrist. I mentioned that earlier. We want to be careful of deep folds, okay? Deep folds in the body or deep twists. You could do those in a gentle way, but not in a deep way, because what happens is you're going to compress the joints, and we don't want compression in the joints. We always want to elongate through our joints. We want to be careful of fast movement when we're not mindful, right? And overstretching, okay? So that's where that strengthening and stretching comes in. We need both to keep balanced. I also when I was doing research for this class, I found this study. This is fascinating. I found this study that was done last year in 2024. It was done, there was a gentleman who has RA, so autoimmune rheumatoid arthritis. He did a 4-week yoga program with a study on joint pain. His pain level after the 4 weeks went from a number 9 to a number 4, okay? On the RA, this is called the RASS, which is the scale that they use for noting how severe your RA is. It went down from a 220 to a 135. So he reduced the severity of his rheumatoid arthritis from number 220 to 135. So that's incredible. And we're going to be doing that similar protocol in today's class, okay? So I just love that these studies are really showing how beneficial and how much these practices are working, right? Like, we all know that yoga is beneficial. We've heard it said before, but I love to be able to say, but this study really happened and this science is really backing it up now. So I wanted to share that with you. So today we're going to be going through a joint freeing series, all in a chair, working on moving through slow, repetitive movements about 3 to 5 times each. Also focusing on the breath. And we're also going to be doing the alternate nostril breathing and something called bee breath or Brahmari breath. If you took that 7-day breath challenge with me, we did the bee breath there. So those 3 things, joint freeing, alternate nostril, and the bee breath, those were the 3 things that were done during this study to get that gentleman to say, my pain was at a 9, now it's at a 4. So I'm excited about this class, if you can't tell, because I'm talking so much. All right, let's begin. Sitting up nice and tall, rooting down through your sits bones and your feet, relaxing your shoulders, closing your eyes, and just start to turn inward. Noticing your breath and deepening your breath. Notice how the air enters through your nostrils and starts to inflate your chest, your ribs, and your belly. And then it unwinds, it relaxes from your belly, your rib cage, and your chest. Just a few more mindful breaths here. Beautiful. And then just taking another moment here to set your intention for your practice this morning. And then we'll go ahead and start to blink the eyes open. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do a little warm up first, and then we'll get into some breath work. So let's take a deep breath in, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling to float the arms back down. Inhaling deep, reaching up, big stretch. And exhaling down. One more just like that. Inhaling, reaching, maybe even looking up this time. Exhaling down. We'll drop the hands down towards the knees. Inhaling to round forward. Exhaling to round back. Nice big circles here, getting into just some movement, allowing the body to flow. And then we'll head over in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Coming back to center as you're ready. We're going to inhale to sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're going to hinge at the waist into a small forward fold. Inhale to rise, press through your feet to lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhaling to rise, pressing, and exhaling forward. All right, let's inhale to come all the way back up, and now we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down towards the hips. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, lengthen through the crown of your head, and then exhale, we're going to find a little side bend. Inhaling to come back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Beautiful. Inhaling to center. Exhale, we're going to stay here. I want you to walk the hands a little bit higher up so that you feel for your rib cage here. Inhaling nice and tall again. Exhale, hinging here to the side, opening up through that rib cage. Inhaling to come back up. And exhale to the other side. Beautiful. One more round. Inhaling up, lengthening, reaching, and exhale. Inhaling to center. Last one. Exhale over to the side. Beautiful. Inhaling to rise. Exhale, relax the hands down. Cat cows now. Inhale to slide the hands towards your hips, arching the back. Exhale, hands to knees as you round, tuck the chin in. Inhaling to arch, pressing the heart forward. Exhaling as you round. Beautiful. Let's go for 3 more, your own pace. As you're ready, we'll meet back at center. Beautiful. We're going to hop right into our alternate nostril breathing. So left palm is going to flip up on your thigh. First finger and thumb together in Gyan Mudra. Right hand, the thumb is in charge of the right nostril. Ring finger in charge of the left nostril. We always begin and end with the left nostril. We'll go through this together. So beginning to plug your right nostril in, take a deep breath in through the left. Plug the left with your ring finger, exhale right. Inhale right. Plug your right nostril, exhale left. Inhale left. Plug the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Plug the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. A few more. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And take a deep breath in through both nostrils. And full breath out. Take a moment here just to soak in your practice. Noticing the effects of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. And again, we're going through a very similar protocol to what was done in that arthritis study. So this is one to come back to if that's something that you would like to work on. Beautiful. We'll start to blink the eyes open if they're closed. And we're going to go ahead and rub the palms together. Rubbing the palms like you're starting a fire, you're keeping warm. Something also important for arthritis is keeping the joints warmed up. So I love this. This is a good one. Rubbing the palms until you feel that heat that you're creating. And I want you to visualize this heat as healing heat. Your own body is creating this, and it is so medicinal. Beautiful. Take that warmth and then start to rub the palms like you're putting on hand lotion, spreading that healing energy. Beautiful. And I want you to take this and then start to rub up the arm and down. Up one side and down. And again, doing this in a loving way. Sometimes I really think our intention behind something is half of the power, if not more, right? There's studies done with placebo effect. Beautiful. Let's go over to the other arm, up one side and down. So when we intend to heal, I think we have a better opportunity, more of an opportunity to heal. Beautiful. And then we'll take our hands, bring them to our knees, rubbing the knees. And then we're going to bring our hands to our low back, rubbing your low back. Beautiful. All right, relaxing the hands down, and then we're going to just start to wiggle the fingers. And we're moving slowly here, like you're playing notes on a piano. Make sure that you include that thumb there. And I want you now to just draw circles with your thumb. That's so funny. And the other way. Beautiful. We're going to get into the wrists. It's either circles or like figure eights. Beautiful. As we move through our joint freeing series, nice deep breaths. Beautiful. We're going to reach the arms out in front, flipping the palms up, and then thumbs down towards the ground. Beautiful. Now I love this one, especially for shoulder pain, because this is a really gentle way to get into the shoulders without having to do that full arm circle. So especially if you are feeling pain in the shoulders, you don't have to move your arm in that circular direction. This is a nice way to still find movement here. Beautiful. Let's keep those palms face up. We're going to bend at the elbows, reach for the shoulders, open those arms back out, and bend. Beautiful. So deep breaths, releasing any tension that you feel in the shoulders, in the jaw. Beautiful. Let's keep those fingertips on the shoulders, and we're going to see if we can bring those elbows closer together and then open those elbows out wide. Beautiful. Elbows together and out wide. And again, together and away. Last one, together and away. Beautiful. Relax those arms down. And we're going to just gently roll the shoulders up and back. Beautiful. All right, relax those shoulders down. We're sitting up nice and tall, imagining that you have a string at the very top of your head and someone's just slightly pulling you up by the crown. All right, and then from here, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest, and I want you to draw half circles with the chin to one shoulder, down towards the chest, and then to the other shoulder. See these little half circles here, side to side. Beautiful. As you're ready, come back up to center. And then we're going to look up towards the sky. Still keep rolling those shoulders up and back. Nice open collarbones here. And we're just going to tap one ear to the shoulder and then the other. So again, side to side here. And we're only moving the neck. Beautiful. Come back to center. And again, imagine that point at the very center of your head. It's not in the back, it's at the center here. Okay? And with that point, I want you to imagine that you have a pencil right there at that point, and you're going to draw a circle of a halo above you. So we're not getting into a huge neck roll here. This is a smaller one. You're just drawing that halo above your head. Beautiful. And the other way. Now, especially with the neck, our necks are really strong, but they just do so much. They carry our heads, which can get really heavy, especially if our alignment is out, especially if we don't have the best posture. Our heads can feel up to 50 pounds. Beautiful. All right, we're going to come back to center as you're ready. All right, lovely. Let's go ahead and keep those hands down on the knees, and we're going to find those circles again. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And I want you to really move the chest and the shoulder blades here. So we're not just keeping the back straight. You are imagining that you are scraping the inside of a bowl, okay? So the shoulder blades should come closer together as you round forward, and they should come farther apart as you round back. see a lot of people get stuck in this movement. Beautiful. Let's head over in the opposite direction. So you're really starting with the chest. Beautiful. As you're ready, we're going to come back to center, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to bring our hands back to our hips and we're going to go for a little walk, lifting up one knee at a time. Now, if you are coming side to side to lift up that knee, you're coming up too high. I want you to find little baby steps here so that we are only focusing on that hip joint, up and down. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to lift up on that right knee and we're going to squeeze that right knee in towards the chest, and you're going to rock that knee from side to side. Again, nice way to actively open up the hip. Beautiful. From here, now I want you to draw a circle with that knee. And then the other way. Nice little circle here. Beautiful. Hugging that knee back to center. Now we'll draw a circle with the toes. So we're keeping the leg nice and still. We're only moving at the ankle. And the other way. Beautiful. Relax the toes down. And then we're going to extend the leg out in front and then bend the knee, bring it back up and in and extend. One more for a total of 3. Out and in. Beautiful. We're going to relax that foot down. And then we're going to come to the other side. So we're going to lift up on that left knee. Squeeze the left knee in towards the chest. And then we'll rock it side to side. Beautiful. Bring the knee back to center. And we're going to draw that circle. And the other way. Beautiful. All right, coming back to center. Now we'll just find that circle for our ankle, just moving the toes. And the other direction. Beautiful, and then we'll extend the leg out. And 2 more times. And as we're doing that, one thing I wanted to mention, moving slowly through space, is that when we do have inflammation flare up in the body, that can get into our joints a lot more, right? We're going to feel the arthritis a lot more. Squeeze that knee back in. And a big part of inflammation, let's relax that foot down, is diet. So I'm not a dietitian. I do know a little bit about Ayurveda, which is our nutrition and diet and lifestyle when it comes to yoga. Things like processed foods, fried foods, sugar, those kind of things create inflammation in the body, sometimes even dairy. So just being aware of that, especially when we are we're looking at arthritis in a holistic way, right? Okay, we're going to get a little bit more into the legs, and then we will end with our bee breath practice. So we're just going to go ahead and start to wiggle the toes. And then gently lift all 10 toes up. And you don't need to come to the highest height that you are able to. We're just gently lifting. And then we'll drop the toes down. Lift the toes back up and down. And again, up. And before you drop them down this time, I want you to peer over at your toes. See if you can start to drop one toe at a time. It's difficult. Sometimes they just want to come together. They want to go along for the ride together. Just notice what's happening and then go ahead and wiggle those toes back out. Beautiful. And then now we're going to rock the feet forward and back, lifting up through the heels and then the toes. Beautiful. From here, make sure the feet are at least hip distance apart, and then we're going to knock the knees together. Bring the hands to the knees, and then we'll open the knees back out and knock the knees back together. Gently out and together, out and together. Beautiful. From here, we're coming back to our neutral stance, and we're just going to drop the legs over to one side and then the other, side to side, kind of like windshield wipers here. There's not a huge range of motion, but this is kind of a fun move, huh? Any skiers? I feel like if you're a skier, this is like a move that you do. All right, beautiful. Coming back to center as you're ready. And then go ahead and sit back in your chair if you're not already doing so. So we did pretty much every joint. We moved pretty much every joint that we could move. Maybe in not every direction, but in the majority of those directions that they're able to move in. And to close, we're going to come to Brahmari breath. B breath. We're going to do a simplified version of this today. Brahmari breath is a really beautiful breath for getting into the nervous system and relaxing the nervous system. And it's one of those breaths that anyone can do. I recommend it to my students who are pregnant. It's a really calming breath with almost no contraindications. Almost everyone can do this breath. And by almost, I mean everyone. I don't know of any contraindications actually. So B breath, exactly what it sounds. We're going to keep the lips sealed and we're just going to hum, okay? We're going to inhale, we're going to breathe in and out through the nose, and we're going to hum by vibrating our lips. So as you're ready, closing your eyes, relaxing your palms down on your thighs for a grounded energy, or palms up for a more receptive energy. And we're just going to go for it. As you're ready, take a deep breath in, and we'll hum. Keep going as you're ready. Keep going, staying focused on the vibration within. Really calming energy, just a little bit more to go. Last few rounds. And after your next exhale, just stay absolutely still. Turn inward and observe. Noticing how powerful your breath is. And noticing the quality of your mind after your practice. And the energy of your entire body. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and let it all go. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and just find some gentle movement in the wrists. And then start to just gently move side to side as if you're swaying. And take a deep breath in, stretching all the way up. And then exhale, bring the hands together at the heart. Beautiful. Closing practice by coming back to the intention that you set for yourself. And drawing the thumbs to the forehead in honor of kind thoughts. And thumbs to the lips in honor of kind words. And thumbs back to the heart space, bowing your head to the wisdom of your heart.